Hey guys, I'm Moppie.
Hey, I'm Nick.
Nice shirt, man.
Thank you. I picked it out especially.
Beautiful. We've got a BMW M135i.
That's right. BMW New Zealand threw down a gauntlet when we told them how much we enjoyed the HSV, and they tell us that this is going to, quote, run rings around it.
I think we should go drive it and find out.
That's the only way to find out.
Awesome, mate. Let's go. I love the handling on this car.
I gotta say, this thing does get from A to B very quickly, doesn't it?
It's very hard on the springs, it's very quite firm damping, and it's really involving and really interactive to drive. It's really cool.
Yeah, this thing will change direction really quickly. I don't want to say it's twitchy because that sounds like too negative a word, but it is very, very responsive to driver input.
Absolutely, and you can really balance it on the throttle out of a corner. You can actually drive it like a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah, well, I mean, this thing handles like a go-kart with an open diff, like, well, with a diff in it.
Yeah, absolutely, good way. Yeah, it's like a BMW go-kart.
Yeah, and I think that that's brilliant. And I think that if you treat this like that, you're not going to worry about how firm the ride is.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that if you buy this car, you would know going in that it is an M135,
Yes.
and that you're going to have a firm ride, slightly firmer steering, things like that.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the steering is very direct, very sharp. Like off center, it just moves the car, the lightest little adjustment.
And given that that's the electronic power steering, it feels nice.
They've come a long way since the first electronic systems. Still not as good as a really nice hydraulic system, but it's starting to get close.
It's not far off, yeah, and in terms of the comparison that we're actually talking about, this is more responsive and feels more like you're involved than the HSV by quite a long shot.
Comfortably. This is way more of a driver's car than that Clubsport ever was. That's a pretty good looking little car. It's a small car, being a 1 Series.
I like that it's got the same front as the rest of the new BMWs. I think it's a really nice looking front.
Yeah, it's an all new 1 Series design, so it brings it up to date with the rest of the range in terms of style and features and stuff.
I like it a lot.
It's got a nice ass.
It does. I tell you where this car lets me down on the outside though, is given that it's a 4-door and they've tried to fit enough headroom for the people in the back.
Yes.
I think that it looks a little bit odd slide on.
It looks a bit like a station wagon more than a hatchback.
Yeah, but what I found out on the internet when I was looking up the price of this car for the sake of science,
Yes.
I found out that you can get an M235i, which is a 2-door.
Ooh, the little coupe.
Yeah, and that looks more like the original 1M.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that completely kills any problems that I have with the outside of this car. So ultimately what we're dealing with here, it's a 1 Series, relatively entry model, and I say that because there's a lot of features that this car doesn't have that you would expect from a BMW.
Yeah, it's still a BMW, but there's no head-up display, there's no automatic parking.
Electric seats, electric steering column.
Yeah, stuff that's common on a 5 Series or a 7 Series.
It does have the latest connected drive, and if you don't know what that is, go watch our X3 video, we went quite in depth on that.
I do like these seats. They hold you really well.
Yeah, they do. And I tell you the thing about this car that I really like is that after about 3 minutes messing about with what's where, I found the perfect driving position.
Yeah.
I've only ever found that in one other car. That was my old Skyline.
And then I jumped in it and ruined it for you.
Yes, thank you. That's another problem. It doesn't have electric memory seats.
Exactly.
So I could set that up for me to be perfect every time, and you have your key and I have my key because we're Aussie and Harriet.
Yeah.
But then no, because it doesn't have memory seats. Okay guys, that's been the BMW M135. Moppie, I can tell by your face that you love this car.
I love this car. It's lightweight, fast, agile, amazing motor, great chassis. It's awesome. Would you own it instead of the Clubsport?
No, in regards to the challenge thrown down, Ed, sorry, I would rather have the HSV. I don't believe it, quote, runs rings around the HSV.
It's probably faster down a pointy bit of road.
Oh, it's definitely got its advantages, but you know, it's a BMW go-kart, which is awesome.
I want one.
I don't.
Oh well.
Anyway, like and subscribe for more of these videos, and we'll keep them coming.
Test driven.